With the recent updates in the Djokovic saga, Djokovic's future in the Australian Open will be decided in the early hours of Sunday morning. His visa cancellation case will be heard by a full court in the Federal Court of Australia. Tennis superstar Djokovic has returned to a detention hotel in the suburbs of Melbourne ahead of a court hearing. This is the first glimpse that anyone has had of Djokovic since his visa was cancelled again. Djokovic is seen wearing a green tracksuit and is flanked by a man believed to be a member of Australia's border forces. On Friday, the tennis star and his last gasp bid to avoid deportation suffered a massive setback when his case was transferred to the federal court and Australia's immigration minister revoked his visa, saying it was in the public interest to do so. The megastar's bid to avoid deportation will be heard by Australia's federal court, but time is now slipping away. The Australian Open starts on Monday. It is unclear if Djokovic will choose to stay and fight the case if he believes he is unable to compete in the Australian Open. The world tennis #1 is the tournament's top seed. He was practicing on the Melbourne Park courts just hours before Immigration Minister Alex Hawke's bombshell decision. Djokovic's vaccine waiver provoked outrage among many Australians. Australia has endured 2 years of some of the toughest coronavirus restrictions in the world. Meanwhile, the Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić has slammed the Australian government's handling and treatment of Djokovic and alleged that the greatest tennis player in history is being harassed. Listen in.
Zašto ga maltretirate i zašto se iživljavate? Ne samo nad njim, već i nad njegovom porodicom, već nad celom jednom nacijom, slobodarskom i ponositom. Je li to potrebno da biste dobili neke izbore? Je li vam to potrebno da biste se dodvorili svoje javnosti? Evo pojavio se jedan predsjednik iz jedne male zemlje koji sme to da kaže jednom velikom premijeru iz jedne velike zemlje.
Djokovic's controversy has since gotten murkier. Since he landed in Australia, his cause was not held by a wrong entry declaration, where a box was ticked stating that he had not travelled abroad in the 2 weeks before leaving for Australia. The world tennis #1 had in fact gone to Spain and Serbia. Djokovic attributed the error to his agent. Along with that, he even made a bombshell declaration about giving an interview to a French newspaper when he was infected with COVID. Currently, uncertainty looms over his participation in the tournament. Djokovic and his legal team aren't the only ones on the tenterhooks at the moment. Ahead of the court hearing, the Serbian has been drawn to face his compatriot Miomir Kecmanovic in the first round. Tennis Australia will have to reshuffle the draw in case Djokovic's appeal is turned down. Djokovic's ordeal, however, is drawing little sympathy from his fellow tennis players, many of whom are upset over the controversy overshadowing the build-up to the first Grand Slam of the year. Take a look.
Well, I tell you one thing. It's very clear that Novak Djokovic is one of the best players of the history, without a doubt. But there is no one player in history that's more important than an event.
I think it's an unfortunate situation. Like, he's such a great player, and it's kind of sad that some people might remember him in this way. But I also think it's up to, not tennis players, it's up to the government, like how Australia's deciding to handle it.
I feel like the situation, I feel that it has taken away a little bit from the great tennis that's been happening over this summer in Australia.
I want to say about Novak's situation that it's, we're in Australia, it's their rules, but from what I know, if again he has a valid exemption to be in this country and to do what he wants, then he should play. If the exemption is not valid or something else is not valid, well, any country can deny your entry. So,
but the Australian government and the Victorian government should have been clear on what is going to happen beforehand. And I think it's not very fair for a person to come here and not be able to play.
Stefanos Tsitsipas is another high-profile player who has questioned Djokovic's conduct over the past month. In an exclusive interview to WION, he said that has now been quoted extensively across the world. The world #4 slammed Djokovic for playing by his own rules. Listen in.
Well, for sure, he has been playing by his own rules and has been doing something that not many players had the guts to go and do, especially after ATP announced certain criteria for players to enter the country. A very small majority of that percentage chose to follow their own way, which kind of makes the rest, the majority makes the majority look like I don't know, like they're all fools or something.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.